Hi, I'm Naomi May, freelance fashion writer and editor, and we're here today for the SATCoL podcast, The Sustainable Conversation, and we are delighted to be joined by Mecia Simson, the former winner of Britain's Next Top Model and actress in the Netflix series The Witcher. Mecia, hi, and welcome to The Sustainable Conversation.
Hello.
We are very excited to have you with us today, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So can you tell me about when you first became aware of the issue of sustainability?
Yeah, so it's been really like it's something that I've been learning about throughout the last couple of years. But a friend of mine told me to watch a documentary called The True Cost. And wow, it absolutely blew my mind because I had no idea. So I think with the documentary, it tells you everything from the production process all the way into the people making it in the factories, and also the impact that it's having on the environment. And I things that I didn't even realise, like the fertilizers that they're using on the cotton. That's producing quite a lot of chemicals, and then the farmers that are working in those areas are then becoming ill from it, and then also obviously like the chemicals that are then being seeped into the water, and then all the way through to like the sweatshops that people are having to work in but they have no choice because they've got no other means of making money, so then they're kind of brought into these sweatshops to work for low pay. And just seeing the impact that it has on just like on people as well as the environment, like it's like a whole thing. That really opened my eyes up to it and made me want to kind of research more and just see what I can do to help, and spread awareness if I can.
And sometimes it's the things like you just said that go unsaid that people don't realise, like the people that are making the clothes, that are responsible for the clothes and all of that kind of thing that people can forget about when they're buying clothes or thinking about clothes. And that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's so easy to just, I think you see things and people see things and they see these beautiful things that they want. But like we've not had to think about the process of where that comes from. And I think if more people knew about that, I think anyone with a heart would want to make some changes.
And social media obviously plays a huge part in all of this, in educating people, in helping people to learn more and see more about what they could do. How much of a role do you think social media has to play in educating people more about climate change and the things that we can all do to help? Yeah,
I think social media has a massive role to play in it. And I think again, really, like I know obviously I've heard through friends about, friends talking to me about sustainability and the importance of that. But I think really like social media has been a big player of that, with where you see like people doing like swap shops or, people promoting loan shops where you can just loan garments for, just for a few days and give them back. And I think just seeing like even influencers partnering up with brands that are sustainable and, just seeing it just everywhere. I think the more that you see that on social media, again, because it is such an influence on people's lives, the more that people are going to kind of take that into themselves. And then also I think from me seeing that made me want to go, okay, so what does it actually mean to be sustainable? Like what does this mean? And like, why are people talking about it so much? And then, it makes you want to kind of, research into it and just find out for your own,
And as an actress on The Witcher and with somebody with a following on social media, do you feel a responsibility to educate people, and how do you go about trying to engage your audience in discussions around sustainability? Yeah,
definitely. I think if you've got a platform, I think like I've always wanted to do good if I can. So going back to like the loan shops, like especially when there's events, like I've become a massive fan of them. So like I'll quite regularly go in, and I think they're so amazing, and they've got so many like beautiful dresses. And so whenever I go in, I always like to try them on, and I always like to kind of do some content and videos so that I can put on my Instagram and then just like show my followers, so that maybe they think twice about buying something brand new, something that they'll probably throw away or not use again, and maybe think about using something that could be of high quality, something that they might not be able to afford in full price, and something that they can give back, I like to try and just show my followers the options that there are out there. for them.
I went to a swap shop recently and I got the most amazing pair of jeans. You can get some really cute bits where you take one of your pieces and then you take something away, and there were so many nice things.
I've actually not been to a swap shop, so I'd love to find out where that is, because I do have quite a lot of things that I could swap. So
come along with me next time I go.
I'd love to. Yeah.
And what are some of your kind of favourite or go-to sustainable practices that you like to weave into your everyday routine?
Yeah. So I think just around the house, really. Like, it's like the simplest things that people may not think of, but you know, things like with water, if you're brushing your teeth, don't let the tap run, like that kind of thing. Just like only use it when you need it. And things like, again, like I've got like my superstore is like my fridge. It's really closely connected to where I live, so I go to the shops quite often. So I think things like bringing your own bags, because like every time you go, if you're taking like 2-3 bags at a time, that's more plastic, and then more plastic that's being thrown into waste. So that kind of stuff, and also just using, again, I've got like this massive subscription for toilet roll, but it's a sustainable toilet roll brand that like it lasts you for like 6 months, like things like that, you know, just doing your bits where you can.
And it's also like with those things, once you've wrapped your head around it and got to grips with what it looks like to get your 6-month toilet roll subscription, you actually just get into the swing of it, and it just becomes part of your routine, doesn't it? Yeah,
there's that as well, and then also because I think some people might think maybe it's going to cost more because it's now sustainable, but actually, I mean, things like that I've worked out it doesn't cost more. It's just you just got to do your research and just, you know, just make the change. Like, it's just the tiniest things that we can all do that can go a long way.
Definitely. And I think we were talking a little bit earlier about, you know, social media and the role that it's got to play, but sometimes it can be overwhelming with the amount of information that's out there and the different voices and the often conflicting tidbits of information. For the people who want to implement sustainable practices into their life, what's an easy first step for them to take?
So I definitely say just research it, because it actually doesn't take that long to find out even just the basics. So I think even if you can do the basics every day, that's really, really helping. I think in terms of clothes as well, because I think clothes now are made to just like be used, like they're almost made to be throwaway, you know, and it shouldn't be that way. So I think if something is broken or you need something stitching, just like if you can't do it, take it to get repaired, or get someone to do it, or just like learn to do it, you know. And yeah, like I think especially in terms of clothes, if you do want to buy something new and you feel like you really, really need it over one, then I'd say like buy something that's of higher quality, because then that means that it will last for longer, and you're not gonna be looking to replace it anytime soon.
I like to live by the rule of save something in the bookmark bar on your laptop for a month, and if you're still thinking about it after a month, then maybe it's something that you need.
Yeah, that's it. Because I feel like we can feel, a lot of the times we can feel like we need these things, and like sometimes you buy these things and then you realise you get bored of it after a while. So I think that's a good way of doing it. Just imagine you have it and like, do I still need it? Yeah, okay, then yeah, it's worth buying.
Definitely. And what are some rituals that you have in your everyday routine that you really love, that are consciously minded?
So I think going back to like, because I work a lot from home, so I'd say going back to just the things that I can do, like again, like recycling, like that as well, but even looking at the back of the packaging, because like sometimes things need to be recycled in certain ways. Sometimes it needs to be recycled in store, or it needs to be recycled in a certain bin. There's all different ways of doing it. So like I make sure that I stick to that so I can do my bits.
And I actually think once you get into the habit of checking all of the fine print and getting into what goes where, it actually becomes quite addictive to really get into
it does, because then you feel like you're doing something, like something so big, people can feel like it's out of their control, but then, you know, if you bring it back down to the basics again, just even, you know, putting that extra effort in to look at how something should be recycled, like it's a feel good factor as well, because you feel like you're doing something good for, you know, for the environment.
I know that you are a fashion lover like myself. where do you go, and what are your tips for pre-loved secondhand shopping?
Yeah, so there's so many apps now and so many websites that you can go on where people are buying and selling clothes. So like, I think especially when I'm like, I feel like a new wardrobe revamp. I've got so many things there that I don't wear anymore. So then, that they're nice things. Maybe they don't fit me or whatever. So then I'll go on and I'll pop them on the app and, sell them. And then you get some more money to put in your little kitty, and then you can buy more things that are pre-owned from those the apps and the websites. But also charity shopping as well. Charity shops, you can find amazing things in there, and especially if depending on the areas that you go shopping as well. Like there's certain areas in London, like I know I went with my sister once, and we went to one of the shops, and it was in Notting Hill, and because of the area that it is, you like the type of clothes that get donated are amazing. And she bought this amazing jacket, that was like handmade, personally made for that person. So it had a story as well, which I find amazing. But then in that way, you're then giving back to charity too. So then it's like a full cycle of you're just helping everyone. I think it's a really nice thing to do, and again, it's quite fulfilling being able to do that. Yeah, and then obviously vintage shopping as well, and I recently went to Thailand, and they had this massive it was like a superstore of just vintage clothes, and it was amazing. Like I didn't know where to look, but again, you can find so many different styles, and you can get an individual style as well instead of following the trends that are set in the shops.
And it's always a nice feeling to get something that's one of a kind.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Because there's nothing worse walking down the street wearing something that 10 other people are wearing. I think there's so many different ways that you can, buy secondhand.
Mecia, it's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Sustainable Conversation today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.